Take a moment to read Unit 7, Problem 2.2, Study Type Matching. In this problem, students are asked to work with a partner to decide which type of study would work. If they do not agree, they need to discuss until they agree. Students are given the following statements about each type of study. 1. Surveys are sets of questions given to people to seek their responses. 2. Observational studies collect data without influencing things directly. 3. Experimental studies collect data by directly influencing something to determine how another changed. Students are applying real-world studies to develop vocabulary knowledge of surveys, observational studies, and experimental studies. Let's look at the first problem. Do smokers get in more car accidents than non-smokers? The first thing was it can't be an experimental study because it would be unethical to ask a group of people to smoke. Observational studies would be difficult because you would never actually observe a crash, and police reports probably won't say if a person was smoking or not. Therefore, the only way to do this problem would be a survey. Surveys would directly ask someone whether they thought that they smoked and caused a car accident, and therefore they would get real data from a person. On problem number 2, it says, what is the student's favorite type of sport at this school? Well, the only way to know someone's favorite type would be to ask them directly. So again, this one would have to be a survey to determine direct information from a person. Let's look at number 3. Do people who chew gum while studying do better on tests when they chew gum while taking the test than when they don't chew gum while taking the test? An experimental study would be best for this because there's 2 groups. One who chews gum during the test and one who doesn't chew gum during the test. That way they can compare the results from each group. Therefore, this would be an experimental study. Let's look at number 4. How is the percentage of the world's wealth owned by the top 1% of individuals changed over the past 300 years? So right away, I see that it probably can't be an experimental study because you can't create groups from 300 years ago, since you can't go back in time. You also wouldn't be able to do a survey because a survey would only be the current population, not any past populations. Therefore, an observational study would be best for this problem. An observational study would allow you to look at previous data on those individuals, the top 1% individuals, and record any changes. Let's look at problem number 5. Do strawberry plants produce more fruit when growing in a greenhouse or outside? Experimental studies would be a 2-group study. So you have the study that's growing in a greenhouse and a study that's growing outside, and therefore you can compare those results. The 6th question says, what are the most important issues for voters in a district at the moment? So 2 things I noticed here. It says most important issues, so it wants someone's opinion, and it's also saying at the moment or currently. Therefore, a survey would be best because you could ask current voters their preference. And that is it for this video.